How's everybody doing out here? People feeling good?
Hello, hello. Oh, yeah.
This is someone. I see some friendly faces over here. My name is Kash Dhanda. I'm the Sherpa of Superteam, freshly hydrated as well now. And I'm going to be talking today with Siong, the co-founder of Jupiter. How many people here have heard of Jupiter before? Can I just see a show of hands? All right, most of the audience. How many people here have actually used Jupiter? Any Jupiter users here? All right, pretty good. Yeah, Siong's happy. Anyone use it this week? Is anyone on top of this morning? I'm hearing from the audience as well. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right. Well, we're going to talk today about a whole bunch of things around Jupiter. Maybe to start, I think the panel title was $1 billion token. What's next? So maybe we can start with the token itself. Well, actually, I'll take that back. Do you want to tell, for, I think, part of the audience maybe not so familiar with Jupiter, how would you describe Jupiter in like 60 seconds?
So Jupiter is basically a aggregator on Solana. So you can go to Jupiter to buy any tokens that you can buy on Solana at the cheapest price. Like that's what we do. On top of that, we also have other products as well: limit order, DCA, and the Perpetual product. Yeah.
And even more afterwards, which we'll talk about a little bit here. So, with the token launch, any Jupe token holders in the building here? Yeah? All right, a few people, not enough people. That's not financial advice. You should do what you like. But so the token launched in January, in Jupiwary, if I'm not mistaken, and went to something like 950,000 wallets. Can you talk a little bit about how that launch happened and just like from the infra perspective, how you made that real?
I mean, it's a Jupiter, we've been working on it for the last 2.5 years. So that's why we have like 955,000 airdrops that we are planning. I mean, we were planning to do at that point. Obviously, the biggest concern at the point was like whether Solana can take on the stress. Like suddenly to have like 955,000 users coming back to Solana and claim the Jupiter token, right? So we did. I was pretty worried for the longest. Yeah, I think the foundations was worried. Zito was telling us like, how you can do the airdrop more properly and stuff like that to make sure that the network can sustain the stress. I mean, Miao, my co-founder, has some very good suggestions. So he basically told us that, why don't we just do like a series of pre-launches? I'm pretty sure some people got the mock Jupe token as part of it. Then before that, we did the when launch as well. So all these launches are basically to get us prepared for the main Jupiter airdrop. It's actually pretty fun because fun in the way that we did end up spending a lot of money on like all the infrastructure around. And also the teams, we have to build so many redundancy. So one of the things that I'm not sure how many people here are technical, but I'll just like share what I like.
Actually, wait, can we just see a show of hands? Who here is actually like a developer or a coder that will know how technical to kind of go? Seems like some, yeah, maybe not.
I mean, hopefully this will be like interesting to you guys, but I'm just going to say it anyway.
Go for it.
So before the launch, we have basically I think it's like 5 servers in one region, serving all the traffic around the world. Then to prepare for the launch, we actually went multi-cloud. So we have servers on AWS, we have servers on GCP, we have servers on this thing called Fly.io. So in case any of one of them goes down, there's a redundancy to make sure that we can actually make sure the airdrop will happen. Then we also end up signing up for 2 RPC providers as well, Triton and also Helios, to make sure that if one of them do go down, then we can make sure that there's enough redundancy. I mean, it's a very stressful event. We went together at one place. I think it's like 20 of us, in one house, to make sure the launch was smooth. I mean, it was fun. I think everyone get to, some of them never met each other before. And at the final launch, everyone was in the same house, making sure that everything was working. Then, on the day of the launch, with everyone's looking at the graph going up and down, see how many people are buying and selling. I mean, overall, it was stressful, but very, very fun experience, yeah.
And the community, I think, really embraced it. Obviously, there was, after a few weeks, it hit $1 billion in market cap, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure, I was if you ask me, it was still, it's still a blur to me. For the last 3 months, token launches, then a lot. I mean, the good thing is main tokens coming up, picking up on Solana, then it put a lot more stress on our network. Basically, since the launch, I think it helps like in general, the overall Solana community and like everything. Our team has been like very busy for the last 3 months. Like, you know, the launch, then the mint token seasons, then the Solana congestions. Then now there'll be slightly a bit of slack with the network coming down like properly. But still, I mean, it has been fun.
Yeah. I mean, I think it helped kind of forge the network in fire a little bit to kind of stress test the network. But all right, so that's the token. The way that I kind of think about Jupiter these days, and you tell me if this is right or wrong, is on the one hand, you have the kind of most comprehensive set of tools for traders. So anyone who wants to trade swaps, limit orders, dollar cost averaging, perps, et cetera. So that's one. The second is this suite of tools that is like the most comprehensive liquidity solution for most developers or DeFi apps, right? So your price APIs and everything else you're doing there. And then on the third side, you have a bunch of things that you just do for the ecosystem, because your TAM is kind of limited by Solana's TAM right now. And so maybe what we can do is talk about each of those kind of in turn. I think that on the trading side, I'm not sure, certainly if you haven't heard of Jupiter, you might not really understand the scale of what Jupiter is doing right now. So I learned what is, to me, just like a bananas fact, that right now, 50% of all compute for each block on Solana, so every 400 milliseconds, 50% of that is just Jupiter. Is that true? And what are you guys doing about that?
It's actually quite crazy, right? People are talking about, you know, like how many transactions per second Ethereum can do. Then I was looking like, okay, like I want to see how many transactions per second Jupiter alone is doing on Solana. Then when like looking into it, it's like we are doing about 250 to 300,000 requests, transactions per second on Solana, and that's Jupiter alone.
Jeez.
Yeah. And I think it's like 300 per second, transaction per second is probably like, I think more than Ethereum at this point.
I think it's more than like all L2s put together,
exactly,
honestly.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
It's actually pretty funny. Then at the same time, we are doing about half the block size, every block coming into Solana. It's actually very interesting in the sense that because of that, we can actually do a lot of optimizations on top of it. Yeah.
So right now, is there a sense that you guys are like crowding out other transactions through all this compute that you're using?
I don't think we are crowding out. Okay. I'm pretty sure that, other transactions can still come in. But as one of the protocols on Solana, it's also our responsibility to make sure that we are not wasting any like transactions unnecessarily to make sure that more transactions can come in. So there are a few optimizations that we are thinking to do. If you look at all the Solana, Jupiter transaction on Solana right now, it takes up about, I'm not sure how many people here know about compute units. You can think about it like CPU cycle. It takes up about, on average, like 65,000 CPU cycle. But by looking at all the transactions that happened in the past, we feel that, as our engineering team feel like there are ways to improve. So let's say that if we can improve like 20% less on the CPU cycles, that means we can free out 10% block size for everyone in the Solana ecosystem to use.
Which means another like 150 transactions
and
per
hopefully
second
all of those
added.
are going to be extra Jupiter transactions.
Just take more and more of the block. All right, so the scale of Jupiter is just bananas, but right now it is largely a kind of desktop experience, I think, right? In this kind of sense of what is next for Jupiter, something I've seen that I'm very excited about is the Great Migration. Can you talk a little bit about the Great Migration strategy?
I think there are a few things, right? But the part that I'm most excited about is to get, Solana and Jupiter to the, greater, like outside of the Solana ecosystem, like in real life, whether people are using it for trading, right? I'm not sure like anyone here saw the news that we just bought the Ultimate app. The plan is to migrate, not migrate. Migrate is, I'm not too excited about migrations. I'm more excited about growth. The goal is to actually get more users on the Jupiter apps that we are working on right now. Because I'm a strong believer that I used to be an iOS engineer, and now everyone's like, I really want to see people, it's actually very cool as a founder or like someone who's working at Jupiter to see people start using the Jupiter app or have the Jupiter app icon on the phone like everywhere that goes, right?
Yeah.
And I think I personally very excited. I'm very excited for that route, and
So the Jupiter mobile app is coming. Can I ask you a
Yes.
question that's going to make you hate me?
Huh?
When is it going to launch? When is the Jupiter mobile app coming?
We have the test flight up and running right now. We are submitting it to Apple for the approval and whatnot. I think it will come out like late now it's May, late May or early June. Yeah.
Okay, and you're guaranteeing that.
Test flight. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Jupyter mobile app is coming. I am really excited about that. It's probably the best way to start to onboard the masses, right? There's instant swaps, zero fees, one-click trading, all that other good stuff coming together. So it should be pretty fun. But I know we're short on time. So let's talk a little bit of the dev side. Because people in the room have used Jupyter. They kind of get that it's a pretty phenomenal product. But from the dev side, basically every DeFi team that I know of has integrated Jupyter at some kind of level. What can you say about like the scale of the partnerships that you've had and the kind of value that you guys are driving for your partners?
Yeah, it's actually very interesting, right? Like our Jupyter API is free, so anyone can use it. At the same time, we have the self-hosted binary. So we have people like QuickNote and Triton. They will run the binary to serve the same API for all other partners in the Solana ecosystem.
All for free.
Yeah,
right?
all for free. Unless you charge a fees on top of it, then we'll take a cut. It's actually very interesting. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. I was like sitting down. I was like, I want to see how much all these partners are making by using the Jupyter API. I went through the ecosystem. I looked at all the fees. It's not 100% accurate, but looking at it right now, I think the ecosystem, at least all these partners are making 100 million fees from just using the Jupyter API.
That's insane.
I think at a pretty rough calculation, it's between 100 million to 150 million fees. Yeah.
$150 million in fees a year that your partners are making on top of Jupyter. That's pretty exceptional, actually. That's a lot of money.
And we are not taking a single cent from. Actually, we are taking some.
You take it not enough. Though. You take a little bit. But that's crazy. The reason I love that so much is I feel like there's this constant complaint in crypto. They're like, oh, these protocols, they have no actual revenue. They're not actual businesses and whatever else. Not only does Jupyter have revenue, but you're creating revenue-based businesses for all these other partners as well, which is pretty exceptional.
We don't like to brag about numbers that we are doing, but I was bragging, not bragging, like just telling you some of the numbers. But like something that I'm super proud of is it's like how do we create a system that let people make money on it, right?
Yeah.
Because in the end of the day, it's like the whole idea of protocols and whatnot is to make sure that other people can integrate, other people can use it. Then at the same time, they can create sustainable business on top of it. Yeah.
It's the promise of true DeFi, interoperability, composability on Solana, anyone can access and build a very substantial kind of business on top of. Are there any things that you want to see built on top of the Jupyter APIs that maybe some people in the audience might be able to pick up and do after hearing this?
I would say for the last month or so, I've been working on a lot on the Perpetual product. I've been talking to some of the teams that are thinking to build on top of the Perpetual product. One thing that we are not very aggressive on the front is that we still don't have the SDK out yet for the Perpetual. But even that we are still seeing people integrating with it. The goal for the next month or so is to have the SDK out. I want to encourage people to start thinking about what are the things that they can build around JLP, what are the things they can build on top of the Perpetual product. Yeah.
Makes sense. Let's actually talk a little bit about the Perps product because it is, I know you don't like talking about numbers, but
sorry.
I do. So the numbers on the Perps product are just insane. I think as of yesterday, you had something like 70 to 75% market share. For Perps, actually, do you mind describing Perps for people who don't know real quick?
It's actually very easy. You can buy and sell with leverage up to 100x. Yeah.
100x, yeah. Which again, do your research before you're trading with 100x leverage. That's a separate thing. But you guys launched the product 5 months ago at this point?
6-7 months ago.
6 months ago, and now you're already routinely having billion-dollar volume days with a B, $1 billion, 700-something million just yesterday alone. Where does the success, how did you guys build a product to get this much scale so quickly?
It's actually pretty funny. People look at the numbers. They ask me, how many people are involved in the team? It's technically one front end, one contract, then one back end. So three people are working on the product, the team has way too much stress for the last I would say 6 months because
I see the gray hairs coming up on your head. Yeah.
When we launched Perpetual, our idea was we might be able to do 1% of what the typical Jupyter volume is a day, but now we are doing about sometimes 50%, sometimes equal amount of volume on the swap volume. Then we were obviously that comes with a lot of problems as well. Over the last 6 months, a lot of things that we have to learn and improve. Yeah. To be honest, if you ask me why people are using it, I think in general, the liquidity helps. There are zero price impact. That's very helpful for a lot of people who want to put like big volume into it. But at the same time, I was also pretty surprised by the fact that people who are using it are not actually like doing big amount of like transactions. There are actually a lot of smaller traders who are like engaging with it daily, and we want to encourage that. So there are a few improvements that we are going to release like in the next 2 or 3 months to help more smaller traders. Like in the sense that we're going to reduce some of the fees to make them like, lower for the smaller traders, yeah.
Oh, interesting. So lower fees based on like the size of the actual trade. Gotcha. Anything else that's coming up on the Perps product side? I know you guys have been working tirelessly on that.
SDK is one thing. I think that will be very helpful for the developers. Then the second thing is that I'm not sure people saw the announcement that we are working with Gauntlet and Kiosk Lab on the parameter risk setting as well. There might be something that we will launch. I'm not sure I can share that right now. Okay. Like that will be good for just not just for the perps. It will be cool for the whole Solana ecosystem as well. The good thing is like all this improvement that we are working on right now are all under like a recommendation by Kiosk Lab and the Gauntlets. These are the people who have been very involved in the EVM's ecosystem, and we are the first Solana like protocol they are working with right now. It's actually very cool to see them getting onboarded onto Solana, like start learning all this in and outs about Solana, how the account system works and stuff like that. I feel like with them in the ecosystem, we can start measuring what are the market risks. Some of the things that people always think about, contract risk or like security risk, but like not many people think about like market risk in general for everything on the ecosystem. Yeah.
So more stability, more resilience, more safety for everybody around, which is pretty great. Listen, we only have about 2.5 minutes left, and I want to do a few hot questions. We'll see if you like these. So the first question for you, solicited from the audience, shout out to the Streamflow boys who gave me this idea. When is Jupiter going to go multi-chain? Obviously, you're only on Solana right now. When are you going to expand to the rest of the world?
I mean, that's the questions that I feel like it's actually pretty funny. People ask before Jupiter token came about, a lot of investors want to invest in like Jupiter. They always ask us when are you guys thinking about multi-chains? We always tell them, no, we are going to be on Solana only, right? Then all the investors will be like, oh, you're going to be on Solana only. There's like nothing, not that exciting. Yeah. There are not many people using it and stuff like that. I don't want to invest in you guys. But you're the one who want to talk to us first, right? Yeah. then now they're coming back. It's like, oh wow, you guys are on Solana. Seems like everyone's on Solana right now. Can we invest right now? It's like, but the token is already live. If you want to invest, just buy the token from the market, right? Yeah.
So just to kind of confirm this for anyone who's listening in at home, Jupiter, Solana only for the foreseeable future, right? Yeah. Oh, and the people like it. This is good. That's good. Nice. That's what we like to see. Staying loyal, staying home. Yeah. The next one here is any advice, or let's go with this. What is your hottest crypto take? You've seen it all. You've been in the ecosystem for a long time. You have a $1 billion protocol. What are your hot takes that you might be able to share with these folks?
To be honest, I don't know. But one thing that people have been talking about recently is Solana L2.
Yeah. What do you think of Solana L2s?
I tweet about it. I think just something that get people excited, but nothing really like behind it. Yeah. And it's like everyone talk about L2 just to get people excited, but in the end of the day, it's
get the money as well.
But the cool thing is that I would say any time they are a hot thing, people will start investing into it, and they will bring people might explore cool new things. I don't want to say 100% that L2 is useless, but I think for now I feel like something is there, but not that exciting.
Not too much. Yeah. So there's not a Jupiter L2 coming anytime soon, then it's yes. Yeah, stay on the base chain. You get all the composability benefits. You have all the liquidity already there. Why fragment things around? Yep. I like that. I think that's pretty good. We have just 10 seconds left. Any kind of final words? How do people in the audience get more engaged with Jupiter? What's the next step?
I mean, if you're not on Solana, wait for the Jupiter app to come out. Definitely download it and use it. Yeah.
Download Jupiter app, late May. Siong has promised that it's going to ship exactly on time. And folks, if you're not already in the Jupiter Discord, I definitely recommend you do that as well. And then every Wednesday, there's a planetary call that I actually host. So you can come hang out with us 3:30 p.m. UTC and learn more about Jupiter. Siong, thank you so much. This is great. And thank all of you. Cheers, guys. Bye. Let's roll.